Welcome everybody into the Caller Foundation Complex here on the campus of Howard Community College. Matt Trudell and Sebastian Marich with you here today for the men's game where the College of Southern Maryland Hawks take on your Howard Community College Dragons. How you doing today, Sebastian?
Good, my friend. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. The women's team just won their game and we are in for an exciting matchup. Dragons now on a two-game winning streak. After losing three in a row, they beat Penn Highlands on the 5th when we were here, and then they won on the road at Cecil on Wednesday night, which is a big game. So, as they get into Region 20 play, they got to, stack the wins and get the seeding right.
That's what it's all about. This is kind of the beginning of the crunch time of the season. You got these run of games here in Region 20 Division 2 play. And Southern Maryland, they're no pushover. This team, Howard, we lost to them last year, Southern Maryland at Southern Maryland, and it was a tough battle. So they're very physical. They like to get up and play tough and kind of grind it out. And as they're a tough team to play. I mean, we played them last year, lost at their place, and then happened to beat them in the semifinals of the region tournament last year. But they got talent. They're very well coached. Alan Hoyt's been there, it seems like, for forever now, and he's an incredibly smart and bright basketball mind. So it'll be a good game, good competitive game, and I'm looking forward to see how the Dragons can respond and maybe take their last game versus Cecil, which is always a rivalry game, use that momentum, maybe get off to a good start here in this one.
Dragons come into today 9-4 on the season. Again, two-game winning streak. They're 2-1 in the conference. Southern Maryland 2-12 on the season, 1-4 in the conference, but they are on a one-game winning streak. They beat Westmoreland Community College at Westmoreland 82 to 80. Let's do the starting lineups before they get on to the. We have to take a break. Starting with the visiting Hawks, number 0, a freshman wing, Donnie Stafford. Number 1, a sophomore guard, Isaiah Alexander. Number 2, a freshman guard, James Hans. Number 11, a sophomore forward, Tristan Ofo. And number 21, a freshman wing, Malik Acker. They are coached by head coach Alan Hoyt, assisted by Jerry Sharp, Jordan Bushrod, and Ernest Chambers. For the Dragons, number 1, a sophomore guard, Jaden Johnson. Number 7, a freshman guard, Miles McDuffie. Number 11, a sophomore guard, Emmanuel Enriquez. Number 24, a sophomore guard, Christian Dean. And number 35, a sophomore forward, Anthony Jami. They are coached by head coach Mike Smelkinson, assisted by Will Thomas, Alvarez Jr., and the Howard Community College legend, Cole Harshman. We're going to step aside for the starting lineups, and we will be back for the opening tip-off here in Columbia. right, back here in Columbia, Matt Trudell, Sebastian Marich, getting ready for the opening tip-off of this game. I know we're going to send Anthony Jami out there on our side. I would imagine it's going to be number 21, Malik Aker.
Look for the Southern Maryland Hawks to try to get Jami in foul trouble too. I was talking with Jami earlier today prior to the game, and he emphasized now that Savion is not on the team right now, he's really their only legitimate big, and they need him out on the floor because whenever he's not on the floor, they have to go small by default. So look for him to try to stay out of foul trouble, but CSM to try to attack him as well because Anthony is he's might not be the most skilled player, but he might be the most valuable player on this Dragons team right now.
Tip-off was won by Southern Maryland, but they knocked it out of bounds, so Dragons will get the first possession. Dean misses the three, so it will go back to the Hawks, and the Hawks have a chance to score the first points of this game. Stafford gets it over. 3-point shot, no good by Ofo. And now heading the other way, Jaden Johnson.
Dragons looking to run some zone offense here potentially. However, Southern Maryland set up in man. They get the guy to go under the screen, and Emmanuel Enriquez knocks down to three.
Emmanuel Enriquez, first points of the game. 19-14 left in the first half. 3-0. Dragons are up.
Dragons showing their 2-2-1 press right now, and they get a 10-second violation out of it. Good job by Howard to showcase that. Maybe something Southern Maryland wasn't too prepared for, because Howard they don't use that often, but they will use it sporadically, and they'll use it against teams that have weaker ball handling. So a good show by the Dragons there gets them an extra possession.
Back underway, and Jaden Johnson gets called for the travel. So it'll be Hawks ball. And the inbound goes to Stafford.
Howard's probably going to stay in that 2-2-1 press until CSM can show that they cleanly break it. They kind of got lucky there in breaking it, but
Han,
Howard gets the rebound on that
Hans
miss.
can't get the 2-point shot to go. Now Miles McDuffie on the other end. Enriquez. Dean looking inside, but gets it to Enriquez. He's going to shoot a deep three. Can't get that to go. Battle for the rebound, and Jami gets the tap in to go. Dragons on a 5-0 run to start this game.
Dragons got to trap it here, got him on the sideline, and that pressure causes yet another CSM turnover. The 2-2-1. Southern Maryland has had trouble with it all three times they faced it so far. It'll be interesting to see how they continue to guard Enriquez as well. Gave him the 3-point shot a couple times, and it's probably a wise decision because you don't want him to attack the basket a lot because when he gets downhill, he's very tough to stop, and he's kind of the average 3-point shooter. But if they continue to give that to him, I could see him continuing to take that.
Pass went off the leg of the Hawks, so the Dragons get an inbound, and Johnson got it to McDuffie, who gets it back to Johnson. Johnson gets a deep two to go. 7-0. Dragons are up.
Dragons once again in the 2-2-1. They're not going to leave that press until they break it. But Enriquez gets a tip deflection for Southern Maryland's ball, but he didn't need to jump there on that when he had the player pinned on the sideline. You have him trapped there. You force him to make the play. As soon as you jump, you get in the air. Got an easy drive by to escape the trap.
Isaiah Alexander now with the ball for the Hawks. Dumps it off to Stafford, who gets it over to Hans. Thought about a three. Dragons bench wanted to travel. Now Stafford will shoot a three with 2 seconds left on the clock. No good. Enriquez comes down with the rebound. And now Johnson gets it across the timeline. 17:20 left in the first half. Christian Dean now with the ball over to Johnson, who shoots a deep three, and he gets that to go. 10-0. Dragons are up.
Howard with an early blitz here, and we talked about pregame using the Cecil momentum to get off to a good start. They've done just that.
Emmanuel Enriquez is going to pick up a foul. That'll be the first foul by either team of the game. So it'll be Hawks ball right in front of us. And Stafford inbounds it to Alexander. And now Ofo. Stafford gets a pick. Good defense by the Dragons. Extra pass inside goes to Acker, who kicks it out. And now a
3 second on Southern
offensive
Maryland.
3-second violation called on Acker. So another turnover by this Hawks team. And Dean gets it into Jaden Johnson. Now a steal off a little bit of pressure, but stepped out of bounds by Ofo. So a little bit of pressure being shown by the Hawks now.
Yeah, and if you're Johnson, can't do these soft passes. You gotta have much more force on it. You put it in the air for 2 seconds, it becomes easily susceptible to a steal.
Johnson gets it to Enriquez, throws it across to McDuffie, too high. So a turnover by the Dragons. 10-0. Dragons are up, getting a little sloppy these past couple
And you
possessions.
can't lose focus here in this situation. You get off 10-0 start, you think, oh, this is gonna be walk in the park here. Southern Maryland's had their struggles this year. Can't lose focus. This is a big region 20 game, Division 2 game, and they can get back in it just like that.
Acker gets the first points of the game for the Hawks. Now McDuffie gets trapped, gets it to Jami. Now Dean tries to throw a baseline for McDuffie, and that's two straight passes to McDuffie that are a little too wild for him to handle. So Dragons have an 8-point lead here. 15:56 left in the first half. It'll be Hawks ball.
3 turnovers in 4 minutes of play so far. I'm sure that's going to drive Coach Schmelkinson crazy.
Alexander now with it for the Hawks. Hands it off to Hans.
Howard in a 2-3 right now zone.
Acker inside to Ofo. He misses it off the back iron. Enriquez gets the rebound, and now Johnson pushing it up. Now McDuffie for three and gets that to go. 13-2. Big time three for McDuffie. So he finally gets the ball put properly in his hands, and then he makes a defensive play. It goes out of bounds, so it will stay with the Hawks. But good defense by McDuffie off the 3-point shot.
Yes, it was using his length, active hands, very good. Southern Maryland has to get it across here, and they barely. I thought they got it across by the time he released that. The clock shows 19. I thought he had it, but nonetheless, 10 seconds. You can't put yourself in that situation where you leave it in the referee's hands.
A timeout. We're going to do immediate timeout. So it's 13-2. Dragons are up 15-13 left in the first half. We'll be back. All right, back here in Columbia, both teams coming out of the media timeout. There will be 14 minutes and 13 seconds left in the first half. Dragons up 11 points. 6 turnovers already forced by the Dragons, but they've committed 4 in their own right. Jaden Johnson now gets the inbound, and we are back underway. They have 12 seconds on the shot clock. Miles McDuffie throws a down low to Enriquez, and it's too high for him. Dragons a little errant with their passes so far here in the first half. After they went on that 10-point run to start the game.
Yeah, it's extremely frustrating coming out of the timeout. They actually had it exactly set up how they wanted with Enriquez pinning down the big, but Howard's going to get it right back off. That's another sloppy CSM possession where they failed to break the 2-2-1 press.
Errant pass. So Dragons will have the ball in the half court. McDuffie will look to inbound it. Coming into the game for the Hawks is number 15. That's Trenton Hoyt.
We played 5 minutes so far. Could combine 12 turnovers for both these teams.
Enriquez gets his shot partially blocked, and then it goes out of bounds off of the Hawks. So it'll stay with the Dragons. They're going to reset the shot clock to 20 seconds. Jaden Johnson will look to inbound. Do you think Trenton Hoyt has any relation to head coach Alan Hoyt?
It's a good question. Wouldn't be a surprise.
Johnson throws it into Jami. And now McDuffie, step back, deep two off the front of the rim. Rebound drops to Ofo.
Looked like Jami rolled a little too early there on that screen. Got to stay set and make sure that McDuffie has that space. Jami rolled a little too early on that possession.
Now Alexander with the ball. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Now Stafford. Stafford drives. Baseline jumper, no good. Enriquez comes down with it. He pushes it up to McDuffie. Duffy thought about a three, but it's going to be swung to the other side to Dean. It gets poked away. So it's going to stay with the Dragons. And Sincere Barfield and Arthur Roche come into the game. Arthur Roche gets it to Barfield. Barfield thought about it. Now he's going to drive baseline, goes under the basket, gets it out to Jami. Jami gets blocked in the lane by Ofo, and now the Hawks heading the other way.
That's one where Jami probably should have went up with it with his left hand there, tried to switch it back to his right, and the easy block for Southern Maryland gave them more time as well to make that block.
Alexander to Ofo, back to Alexander. Alexander's going to kick it out to Shepard, who just came into the game for the Hawks. Now Stafford gets his pass stolen away by Enriquez. Enriquez gets it up to Johnson. Johnson takes it, gets the right-handed layup to go off the backboard and in. And it's 15-2 Dragons.
Good job by Howard getting back in transition and getting into their 2-2-1. Roche couldn't come up with that one, though.
And then a missed shot by Shepard. He was looking for a pass, but he had to fire off the shot. Now Barfield gets blocked out of bounds. Nope, they're going to call it a foul. So he would go to the line for two. And the foul's on number 0. That's Donnie Stafford. And these are the first free throws of the game.
30-second timeout by Southern Maryland.
All right, so what have you seen from the Dragons so far?
So they've caused a lot of problems on the defensive end for Southern Maryland's offense in the 2-2-1. Their ball handlers are having trouble getting out of the 2-2-1. A lot of times they pick it up too early when dribbling it, or they'll throw it in a pass to a zone where Howard is giving them that pass, where that way they can then send two of their guys to go trap on the sideline. So now it becomes a difficult situation for Southern Maryland. Offensively, you can see Howard wants to get out in transition and run versus these guys, and they're creating a lot of open opportunities by doing that. So they got to keep their formula. Got to keep the focus, though, too. They have a lot of turnovers so far early on in this game. Got to keep the focus and should be fine.
So Barfield will go to line for 2 free throws. There'll be 13:06 left in the first half on the clock when we get back underway. First free throw is up and in. Barfield coming off the bench, but he has been a top 3 scorer for this team this year. Both free throws are good. 17-2. And now Stafford gets it up to Shepard. Shepard gets it across the timeline. Now Stafford. Stafford will take a deep 3. Gets that to go. Much needed shot connected by the Hawks here.
That was a deep, deep three there by Southern Maryland. Looked like Howard had their man on a little lost there on that side of the perimeter. Got to be a little closer to 3-point shooter. In general, though, 3-point shots that deep, I think Howard will live with Southern Maryland taking those.
Johnson looking inside, gets it Enriquez. Enriquez good mid-range jumper, get it to drop, 19-5.
Good take there by Enriquez. I was ready to say probably should have taken that one to the basket, but he shut me up there pretty good.
All right, Stafford bounces it into Ofo. Ofo picks up his dribble, kicks it out to Alexander. Alexander gets it smacked out of bounds by Barfield, so it will stay with the Hawks. I'll have 14 seconds. Coming back into the game is James Hans. He's going to come in for number 1, Isaiah Alexander. And Hans gets it into Stafford. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Stafford has to split the defenders, loses control. Ofo can't handle the pass, and Roche ends up smacking it out of bounds. But there will be 3 seconds left on the shot clock for this Hawks team. Hans inbounds, it's stolen away. Roche with the ball. Now Johnson. Barfield for 3. And he gets that to go. You can't leave him open like that.
Yeah, breakdown there by CSM, but again, Howard getting it out in transition, and Barfield knocks that down with ease.
Hans can't handle the pass. Johnson smacks it back to Jambi. Then Roche gets the ball stolen away by Stafford. Stafford goes all the way. Right-handed layup. Can't get it to go. And Enriquez gets the rebound. And he bounces it over to Johnson. Johnson gets it across the timeline. Colin Harshman looking to come in at the next stoppage of play for the Dragons. Enriquez over to Barfield. Down low to Jami. Jami gets a defender out of position. Then he's fouled.
Nice set there by Howard. So Jami originally set a down screen for Barfield to come up. Barfield was going to shoot it had it been open. It was depending on the way Southern Maryland played it. So they played it by closing Barfield out. So then it creates a mismatch down low for Jami to seal his defender, takes him down low, gets the foul, going to the line for 2 shots.
First free throw. Gets it to go. Colin Harshman's going to come in for Jaden Johnson. Coming in for Ofo is number 21. That's Malik Acker. And looks like Hannah might be coming in for Jami. Jami gets the friendly roll, 24-5. Jami is going to take a seat, and Jasper Hannah is going to come into the game for the Dragons.
So now with Jami out, if you're Howard, you have to gang rebound here. You can't just have a man on a man. You're kind of mismatched on the size department, so you have to gang rebound, get to the ball, find a man, your closest man, box him out, and another turnover there.
Enriquez got the steal and the pass towards the baseline. Now Barfield running point for the Dragons since Johnson is getting a rest. Roche over to Hannah. Now Harshman. Enriquez wants it. He gets it. Now he throws it across the Barfield, who's open for 3. He misses that. Rebound drops to Acker, and they are heading the other way. Shepard inside. Acker misses the shot from around the free throw line. Barfield gets the rebound, throws it up to Hannah. Hannah takes it the whole way, misses the right-handed layup. Battle for the ball goes down to Shepard of the Hawks, and now Stafford's going to push it.
Southern Maryland's last offensive possession. It was a good job by Acker there to find a soft spot in the zone. Got a good look, just couldn't knock it down.
Hans across the lane, misses that shot. Enriquez gets the rebound. He's stacking up rebounds right
He
now.
is. And the Dragons 2-3, you can get looks at the free throw line or on the elbows. That's just the way how they play it. So Southern Maryland, I think, figured that out, and they're looking to get those looks.
Hannah, wild shot, misses it. Roche cleans it up on the other side off the offensive rebound. And the Dragons are up 26-5, a 21-point lead. 9:20 left in the first half. Next stoppage will be a media timeout. Shepard now baseline jumper, can't get it to go. It's knocked out of bounds by Hoyt. So it'll be Dragons ball. Christian Dean will come back into this game, but after the media timeout, 9:12 left here in the first half. Dragons up 21 points. Welcome back here in Columbia. Matt Trudell, Sebastian Marriage with you. And the Dragons, Arthur Roche for three, in and out, no good. And now heading the other way is Hans. Now Hoyt all the way across to Stafford. Stafford for three.
Howard will live with that every day. Deep contested three by Southern Maryland. They could get that shot anytime in the shot clock, too. That's a win for Howard on the defensive end of the floor, and a
And
good fake there by Barfield. Get an
he
easy
gets it
2
to go.
points.
So Barfield makes it a 28 to 5-point lead. Hans now with the ball. Hands it to Shepard. Kicked out to Stafford. Stafford's pass gets smacked away, and then he steps out of bounds. So it'll be Dragons ball. Christian Dean is going to inbound the ball for the Dragons. Gets it in to Sincere Barfield, and we are back underway. 8 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first half. Barfield over to Roche. Gets it into Harshman. Harshman turnaround jumper just inside the free throw line. Misses it. Roche misses the putback, and then he tries to save it, but he goes out of bounds. So it'll be Hawks ball. James Hans gets it across the line.
Howard once again in their 2-3 here, extending the pressure out, knowing that Southern Maryland has shot some deep threes, and Acker looking for the mismatch, and Harshman found it, couldn't get it to go.
It'll be Dragons ball off the missed shot. It goes out of bounds.
I think if you're Southern Maryland, yeah, they missed that there, but if you're able to steal Harshman down low with your big and Acker, and not just Harshman, any of the guards
Any
in
mismatch.
general, you're gonna live with that. Acker is a good player down low, and that plays to their strengths as a team as well.
Roche gets tied up. Did they call it travel? Believe they called
They
it
did.
travel.
They did.
So Roche will come out. Coming in for him is Miles McDuffie. And now Hans.
So it's interesting. They got Harshman as the anchor kind of down low. This is an extremely small lineup for Howard. But again, they really have no choice but to play this with only having one big and Savion Gowder not being with the team anymore right now. So it's a tough situation for them, but they can maybe get away with it versus a team like Southern Maryland when they play teams with more length and athleticism like a Dundalk. It's gonna be tougher. Montgomery is another one where they had trouble down low. So it'll be interesting to see in the grand scheme of things how the depth pieces will play out. But Jami's so critical as he checks back in for Howard. They need him, and they need him on the floor as often as possible.
Dragons turned it over, Jasper Hanna, so the Hawks have another opportunity. It will be Alexander. Gets it inside to Acker. And now Ofo throws it down low to Acker. Now Ofo gets it. Tries to get down low. Jami puts his hands on it, but Acker's able to recover, and then he gets blocked, partially blocked from behind by Christian Dean, and now Christian Dean's heading the other way. Over to McDuffie, who drives baseline, throws it out to Barfield, and they're going to slow it down. Dragons up 28-5. Dean over to McDuffie. Harshman. Now Dean posting up. Gets
Good cut
McDuffie.
there.
And McDuffie with a 2-point slam.
Beautiful cut there by McDuffie. It's finding the space. Southern Maryland is finding his defender ball watching a little bit there. And that was a great cut by McDuffie. Can't speak highly enough of that play.
Acker now looking for some help. Gets it to Ofo. Ofo. Free throw shot. No good. Harshman with the rebound, and now Barfield heading the other way. Harshman for three. In and out. Dean gets the putback.
Good follow-up by Dean. If you're Harshman, you got to keep firing those away. That's why you're in the game. He stepped into his shot. It was a good shot, just sometimes doesn't go down. But if you're Harshman, keep continuing to take those open looks where you step into it, and they'll go down eventually for him.
Ball's knocked out of bounds by the Dragons and will stay with the Hawks. They're making two changes. Number 12, Yeager. And a timeout is called on the floor.
Media timeout.
Media timeout. So we will step aside 32-5, 5:17 left in the first half. We'll be back. All right, we are back here in Columbia. Alexander looking to inbound it. McDuffie gets the steal, bounces it to Barfield. Barfield gets the layup to go. And a successful job coming out of that timeout with the Dragons playing some defense.
Those are always the most satisfying as a coach. When you draw something up coming out of the out of bounds play and it works to perfection, those are always extremely satisfying as a coach.
Alexander gets a pick from Acker. He throws up a floater. He's fouled. Foul is going to be on Anthony Jami. He's not a fan of it. I don't know how.
It's a tough one. He was kind of caught in a difficult spot there. It is a foul, but he's kind of caught in a difficult spot. If you're Jami, what you initially have to do, you just have to be vertical the whole time. You have to be vertical the whole time. You can't be horizontal 1 inch, or else sometimes you just leave yourself vulnerable. But he's only got one here at this point. It doesn't really become a big deal for Howard until he picks up that second. So he's got to be smart here. But
Alexander made one of two, so it's 34-6. McDuffie for two. Can't get the friendly roll. And they're saying it hit the shot clock. So it'll be Hawks ball. 4:36 left in the first half. Alexander gets it across to Yeager. Now Ofo inside to Acker. Yeager deep 2 and gets it partially blocked. I would have to imagine went behind
Good
the
strong
backboard.
contest there by Barfield, and McDuffie
Gets fouled. So McDuffie will go to the line. He's fouled by number 1, Isaiah Alexander. And he will have 2 free throws coming his way. That is Alexander's first foul, team's third. And McDuffie will go to the line. 5 points so far. These are his first free throws of the game. Gets the first one to drop, and it's pretty.
Even though the score says 35-6 right now, these last 4 minutes are actually really important for Howard. You don't want to lose focus here in a spot like this, and it's very, very easy to. Up 29, Southern Maryland's not had the best season. It's very easy to lose focus. All of a sudden, they're just a 7-0 run away. I mean, yeah, you're still up 20 and you'd be in a good spot, but you'd much rather be up 34-35, kind of controlling the things. Maybe you can test some things out in the second half that you work on in practice, put it in a real life game situation. So these last 4 minutes for Howard are really important, and they got to keep that same focus and intensity. They did a good job there, but unfortunately, Jami didn't have much space as he had control of the ball.
McDuffie made both of his free throws, so stretched it out to a 30-point lead. Jami got the steal but lost control of it, so Hawks will have it. 3:57 left in the first half. Hoyt now in the hands of Hoover. Now Acker. Baseline to Ofo, and he gets the basket to go.
Breakdown in the zone defense there by Howard. The low post defender on the left side of the floor kind of came up, and I think that was Jami, and Dean didn't drop down, and unfortunately for Howard, resulted in 2 points for Southern Maryland.
Baseline 3 for Christian Dean.
But that's how you make up for a breakdown in defensive coverage. You only give up 2, and then you go on the other end and get 3, so you're +1.
He heard you were talking trash.
No, just being constructive criticism, trying
Acker.
to help my player that I coached last year get better.
Dean ends up with the steal, gets it up to McDuffie. McDuffie gets fouled by Hoyt. He will go to the line for 2 free throws. Quite a collision.
A good strong take there by McDuffie. Hoyt was not vertical at all, to say the least, on that one. And McDuffie going to the line for 2 shots. But again, good job by Howard keeping the intensity up. You can tell they haven't lost the focus so far, and that's good. You want to keep it that way. And they put themselves in a very good spot here as Kanye McMahon's going to check in for Howard.
For Christian Dean.
And this is another reason why it's important to keep focus. You can kind of get end of the bench guys some time here in the first half. McMahon not really in the rotation right now, and it's good for him. This is good experience. Also, he's from Southern Maryland. McMahon, this is a good opportunity for him. He's kind of in the St. Mary's College of Maryland area where he grew up. So it's a good opportunity. This is his local JUCO team, so I'm sure he's going to look to show out a little bit here.
McDuffie made the second free throw, missed 3 on the other end by Hoover. Jaden Johnson now brings it up the court. Right-handed floater, too short. Rebound goes to Ovo. And now heading the other way is Estep to Hoyt. Inside now out to Hoover. Hoover has to throw it across to Estep. Estep getting harassed. It gets his pass poked away by Johnson, who steals it. Throws it up to McDuffie. McDuffie misses it. Enriquez misses the putback, but then he gets another opportunity and puts that one back. 42-8.
Just stat building there with the rebounds.
And a travel called on the Hawks. So 2:04 left in the first half. Dragons are up big, to say the least. I don't know how else to say it. 42-8.
There's no other way to say it. 42-8 speaks for itself, and Howard's doing a great job on both ends of the floor. You can tell they sense opportunity here, and they want to take advantage and seize it, and that's what good teams do.
Jaden Johnson over to McDuffie. Inside to Jami. He gets harassed by Mafire.
decent risk taken there, though. You had 2 fouls to give with under 2 minutes to go, trying to be aggressive, create a steal. A little late on there, but down 42-8, what do you have to lose at that point? So I could see why he wanted to do that, trying to make a play for his team there.
McDuffie over to McMahon to Jami. Inside to the cutting McDuffie. McDuffie does not get the shot to go, but they are going to call a foul.
Yeah, he got hit on his left arm as he went up there.
It's Mafire's second foul.
But so it's funny. I just talked about it was a good risk for him to try to steal that. There's the other side to it. Now he's got two,
Yeah.
and it's a tough spot to be in one half. So there's the pros that he laid out earlier. There's the con of doing that, and all of a sudden that risk now becomes kind of a bad play. So, and bad commentary by me.
It happens. McDuffie makes the first free throw.
We're all human in this, players, coaches, and broadcasters.
And broadcasters. More importantly, probably the broadcasters. McDuffie makes both of them. 44-8 is the score. Now Istep gets it over to Hoover.
There's
Now
a trap
Hoyt
opportunity. McDuffie was a little late there.
out to Hoover, who will shoot the three. In and out. Rebound goes to the Hawks. And now Ofo.
You could tell Southern Maryland, whenever they're pressured, they have trouble with the ball. They almost play hot potato with it in a way. They panic a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's a tough spot to be. You got to keep pressuring if you're Howard.
When Fire gets fouled, good ball movement by the Hawks. He misses it, but he will go to the line for two. Kanye McMahon picks up his first foul. Southern Maryland, 3 of 22 from the field, 13.6%, but they've 50% from the line so far. Misses the first one. The second one, can't get that to go either. Enriquez gets the rebound. 1 minute left in the first half. Jaden Johnson gets it across the line. Now McMahon. Johnson. Jami all the way across to McMahon. Inside to Jami. Right from the free throw line. Misses it. Rebound goes to Hoover of the Hawks. He's going to take on two defenders and get blocked. Then a battle for the ball on the ground. It's going to be out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Hawks. 32.6 seconds left on the game clock. 22 seconds left on the shot clock. And it will be Brandon Estep looking to inbound it. Gets it out to Ofo. Ofo's going to drive. Gets it on the other side to Mavire. He gets blocked by Jami, but he gets it back. Then his pass is stolen away by Enriquez. Shot clock is off. Dragons can hold it for the last shot if they want.
Which I'm sure they will do in this scenario here. It'd be interesting to see what Johnson calls here for what action they want to run.
Johnson gets a pick. He's going to split the defender, and then they're going to call offensive 3 seconds on Enriquez. So with 2 seconds left, the Hawks will have an opportunity. Rolls it into his step. He has to pick it up. He's going to shoot it. And hits off the front of the rim. So that's the end of the first half. 44-8. Dragons up big. We will be back at the start of the second half. All right, welcome back here in Columbia. Matt Trudell and Sebastian Marich here with you for the start of the second half. Dragons are up big time. What are some of the first half stats, Sebastian?
Yeah, I mean, a couple things that stand out to me were Howard 28 to 11 on the glass. That's pretty big disadvantage there. 10 turnovers for Howard. I'm sure Coach Melkinson lit up into them about that, even being up 36. I think he was not. He saw that and probably gave it to his team. And was like, look, this is bigger than this game. Like this can't be the standard we set here. So I think that's something Coach Melkinson would like to see. As speaking of the turnovers, you get one coming out of half, and I'm sure that
Look what you
will
did.
make the coaching staff extremely happy.
Yeah, so it will be Hawks ball. Well, the Hawks had a turnover on their first possession at first half, and Dragons
Obviously, that was
return the
sarcasm.
favor. I know. Alexander now over to Stafford. Stafford gets it in. Now Alexander, deep three, misses it. Rebound
Ugh,
goes off the foot of Enriquez, so the Hawks will have another chance.
not communicating there, but I will say this: you'd rather have lose it with both players going after it than none of them going after it.
Stafford misses the deep three. Johnson got the long rebound, and then he gets fouled on the attempt. Alexander thought he got the block, but I'm guessing the foul's on the body before he gets the actual
Yep,
blocks.
that is correct.
Johnson will go to the line for 2 free throws. He had 7 points in the first half, 2 rebounds. And these are his first free throws of the game. Misses the first one. He's the best free throw shooter on this team, 81%.
Yeah, Howard's free throws as a team they gotta get better at. They've kind of struggled from the line this year, and you don't want your best player being 81% from the line. You'd envision him being like 87, 88
He
at the
was
line.
he was right around 87 the last home game, and he
Hmm.
missed a few free throws at the end. Spoiled his double-double opportunity. Alexander gets the ball stolen away by Jami, and then McDuffie on the other end misses the layup, but he's going to go to line for 2 free throws.
I
And
guess that's a makeup because Jami. I went back and took a look at the first foul. It wasn't really a foul. That one was definitely a foul, and he got away with that. That was a clear block. They didn't call it, and Howard going the other way, they do get a foul, and that was a foul too. But McDuffie going to the line for two. But we're even now for Jami. He's got one foul, and now he's earned one.
first free throw good for McDuffie. Stretches the lead out 46-48. Gets a second one to drop as well. So 47-8 is the score. Dragons up 39 points. Alexander back to Hans. Up to Ofo, who can't handle the pass, but Alexander is able to recover it. Now Stafford gets it poked away, and it goes off of the Hawks. So it'll be Dragons ball.
Once again, Southern Maryland having trouble with that press that Howard continues to show, and looks like they continues to be the case coming out in the second half.
Johnson got the inbound, and we are back underway. 18:45 left in the second half. Dean inside to Jami. Back out to Johnson. He thought about a three. Now he's going to get picked. Now he will take a three. Misses that. Jami gets the offensive rebound, and then he smacks it out of bounds. So it'll be Hawks ball. Looking for their first points of the second half. Hans to Stafford. Up to Alexander. Now across the line to Hans. He's getting trapped and then stripped away by Dean. He's held, but no call, and then Dean misses the layup. So Hans gets it up to Stafford. Stafford bounces it over to Alexander. Alexander step back three. Gets that to go. Nice shot.
That was a nice shot. It was also a nice pass there by Stafford there as he kind of had it with his right, got it over to his left, found the space, and then again, nice shot there by Alexander.
Enriquez drives, right-handed layup, no good. Contact. Hans now brings it up the other way. Ofo was one in the pass. Now Hans floater in the lane gets that to go. 47-13, and Harshman will come into the game for the Dragons. At the next stoppage, Johnson with the ball over to McDuffie. McDuffie moves to his right, crosses up. Fadeaway jumper in the lane, tough shot, no go, and Hans gets the rebound. Now Alexander drives, misses the shot. Enriquez slaps it down to McDuffie. McDuffie gets it over to Johnson, and Johnson gets the right-handed layup off the glass to go. 49-13, Dragons are up. Hans back to Stafford. Stafford throws it all the way down the court to Acker. Acker swarmed. Picks up his dribble, bounces it to Hans. And they call a timeout. It will be a media timeout. 16:46 left in the second half. Dragons up 49-13. We'll be back. We're back here in Columbia out of the timeout. Stafford gets it into Ofo, who has to quickly get it to Alexander. 15 seconds on the shot clock now. Stafford, deep three. Does not get it to go. Enriquez. And if you're the Dragons, you'll let them shoot deep threes
Every
all
time.
day long.
They've struggled shooting threes all day. They've only made 2 of them. They're now 2 of 12 from 3, and they're now 5 of 31 from the field.
Harshman misses a three. McDuffie got the long rebound, misses the mid-range jumper, and then Acker pulls it down for the Hawks. Now Hans on the other end gets a tough layup to go. 49-15. Now Harshman over to McDuffie. Harshman looking to rotate it over to Johnson.
The Dragons got to be more crisper. They're walking around right now a little bit. And yeah, I get it's hard to be motivated up 34. That's a good shot by Dean. But you got to be crisper in everything you do, in your cuts, in your passes, in your spacing. They have to be more crisper. This is not about this game. This is about in general. You're building habits toward your next game. You have Garrett coming into your building on Wednesday. Garrett is not, with all due respect to Southern Maryland, they're not. Garrett's another level of competition, and Garrett's had a really good year. So you cannot play like this and kind of sleepwalk your way versus Garrett. This is where you build habits right now, and you got to take the score out of it if you're Howard. You got to continue to build those habits, and right now you can't be going through this like it's a walkthrough.
Christian Dean hit the three, and then he has two good defensive plays. Both will end up staying with the Hawks. Barfield comes on for Johnson, and now the Hawks get it in bounds, and they're able to set up. Hans over to Alexander. Alexander gets a pick. Push off, gets away with it, misses the fadeaway jumper. Ofo gets the offensive rebound, but it's battled on the ground, and now Dean comes up with it. Up to McDuffie. McDuffie gets fouled, misses the shot, but he will go to the line for two. Foul is on Alexander.
Poor read there by McDuffie, though. He had Dean and Barfield. Could have gone either one of those routes, and they would have had an easy layup. So, yeah, he's going to the line for two. But if you're McDuffie, you want to have your head up, too, because he probably didn't see Dean or Barfield on that drive. Got to have your head up so you see the vision, and that way, because if he would have seen him, he would have given it to Barfield or Dean. He's not selfish by any nature. In fact, he's the polar opposite of that. So you got to have your head up, see your teammates, he'll probably make both, but you'd rather get the easy layup than trying to have to earn those at the free throw line.
That was Alexander's third foul. McDuffie now up to 14 points, 9 of 10 from the free throw line, with 4 assists and 2 rebounds to go with that. Alexander can't handle the pass from Hans, and it will be Dragons' ball off of a turnover. Dean gets it into Barfield. 14:42 left in the second half. Dragons are up big time. McDuffie down low to Barfield. Barfield posting up Hans. Gets it poked away, and Ofo gets the steal.
Hans kind of fouled Barfield, though, on that one. Kind of had him across the arms. Barfield was put in a difficult spot there. But the refs have kind of let him play here in the second half with the score being 54-15, trying to speed this up a little bit, and they probably only want to call really obvious ones at this point. They want to go home and enjoy their dinner, whatever they got prepared for them.
Harshman picks up his first foul. Ofo goes to the line. Only 4 free throw attempts so far by Southern Maryland. They missed the first one. Estep and Hoyt come back into the game for Southern Maryland. Enriquez will take a seat for Jasper Hanna.
Be interesting to see when Howard maybe goes back to like a Kanye McMahon, or maybe Truth Norton gets some minutes here to see when, because obviously the score's a little bit out of hand at this point. But it'll be interesting to see how Coach Smelkinson want to balance giving the end of the bench guys an opportunity, or does he want to continue to work on some things that they work on in practice in a game like setting with his rotation?
Christian Dean hits a 3 off of the both missed free throws by Ofo, then a steal by McDuffie. Kicks it out to Dean. Dean's going to shoot another 3, short on that one. McDuffie gets the rebound.
But even on that drive there by McDuffie, you could see his head up on that one. It was night and day compared to the last drive where it was, I'm attacking. I predetermined what I was going to do. That one was night and day. He had his vision, and he saw Dean all by himself there. It was really well done there by McDuffie.
Hoyt for 3. Gets that to go.
Dean kind of fell asleep there back door. Howard's been a little bit asleep on the defensive end in terms of their post coverage. They've kind of gone through the motions. And again, I get it. You're up 39. You're playing a team that much much better than, quite frankly, and it's tough. But again, it's why I talked about earlier. You got to build those habits, because once you see Garrett, it's not going to be like this for Garrett. So it's going to be tough. Howard going back to his zone now, and unfortunately that didn't work either.
Another 3, good for Christian Dean.
Howard switched it up on that one. That one they went 1-3-1 there, where they've been 2-3 in the past. But decent look, unfortunately didn't go. But a good shot there by McDuffie. McDuffie, the leading scorer for Howard.
17 points.
And he's just continuing to put a good effort here in this one.
Ofo was the one who scored the last points for the Hawks. He gets it back. Free throw line jumper, no good. McDuffie with the rebound.
But again, that's the shot that you can get against that Howard zone, the free throw line extended. Like it's there. It's there every time. So it'll be interesting to see how teams maybe look to potentially exploit that. And it's because here's the thing. Let's say you have the shot right there. It's a good shot to take. But let's say Howard maybe comes up. Maybe you have Jami come up and try to guard that shot. Now you can have a couple guys maybe cut down low, back door or whatnot, and it creates so many possibilities to potentially break that zone defense. So that's a fun chess match of it all, and trying to see see what's the right route to go, what's the right play, and whatnot. So, but then again, there's no one better at the chess match than Coach Schmelkinson because I'm sure if he sees teams doing that, he's not just going to sit there and be like, oh, they'll let him do that the whole entire time. He will adjust and he will likely get the better of you more often than not.
Hannah makes both free throws. The foul was on number 3, Brandon Estep. Arthur Roche and Kanye McMahon come back into the game for the Dragons. Dean and McDuffie take a seat. Now Stafford with the ball. Gets it over to Estep. Estep's good drive. Kicks it out to Stafford. Deep 3. Gets that to go.
Yeah, McMahon was late there on the closeout, and you got to be a little more out more on that. And that's a good shot there by Southern Maryland, and they've started to hit some more shots as of late.
Harshman inside to McMahon. Dangerous pass stolen away by Ofo. He's going to push it up the court. Spin. Picks up his dribble. It gets kicked by Kanye McMahon. So it will stay with the Hawks. 24 seconds on the shot clock. Hoyt will look to inbound it. He gets it into Estep. It gets over to Stafford. Stafford's going to shoot another deep 3. Gets that one to go. 2 in a row for him.
So if you're Howard, now that you've seen he's hit that twice in a row, he's been willing to take that more often than not, and he's starting to hit those. You got to make the adjustment. You probably got to play a little more out on that because he's just going to continue to fire away.
Baseline pass to Hannah. Hannah posts up the defender, gets it smacked away. So he tosses out. Stolen away by Estep. Estep heading down. Opposite side gets the layup to go. 10:57 left in the second half. 65-28. The Dragons are up. Harshman over to Barfield. Now Harshman's going to shoot a 3. Misses it. Goes out of bounds. And settling for 3s right now.
Yeah, and you want to. That's Harshman's game, but that probably wasn't the right time to pull that right there. You got to continue to work the clock. Southern Maryland's on a little bit of a momentum run right now, and it's a big possession for Howard. You got to stop it. But here again, it's the same shot. They got away with that, Howard. He's hit that twice in a row. That's exactly the look Southern Maryland wanted. Howard's got to be more disciplined on the defensive end.
Hannah loses control. It is a jump ball. We are going to a media timeout. 65-28. Dragons are up. 10:22 left in the second half. We'll be back.
Right.
All right, back here in Columbia, the media timeout. Istep gets it over to Stafford. Inside to Acker. Acker's going to drive and misses the shot, but he is fouled, so he would go to line for 2.
Looks like Harshman.
Fouls on Kanye McMahon.
Oh, they got it on McMahon. Okay.
65-28. Acker will go to the line. Makes the first one. All right, Acker with the second free throw. Gets that one to go as well. 65-30. Now Barfield over to Hannah. Now Roche. Roche's going to drive. Step back. Jumper gets it to go. Nice shot. Tough contested shot, but he gets it to go. Now his step over to Stafford.
Good job by Roche there, extending out on the 2-3. But there's good job by McMahon there. So as they switch that, McMahon's responsibility as Roche goes over to the other side, McMahon has to come out. He did a very good job on that possession there.
Now Roche over to Barfield, open for three. Misses that one. Rebound drops to Hoover. And now Safford. Over to Istep for a deep three. Misses that one. Rebound drops what looked like to be the Hawks, but Hannah gets it. And now Barfield gets it across the line. Inside to McMahon. McMahon gets fouled, so he'll go to the line for two, but he missed the reverse layup.
So we'll talk about the bad before the good. Bad, McMahon's got to go up stronger with that. You got to have more arc on that. You just flicked it up there. You got to go up stronger, use the square. The good, always end on the good. Great cut and awareness there by McMahon to see there's a space in here. The defender of Southern Maryland, Acker, is kind of asleep on that end right now on that possession, and he took advantage of it, cutting back door, getting the line for two shots.
First free throw's good by McMahon. Hoyt and Estep will take a seat. Coming into the game for them is number 10, Andre Shepard. And number 2, James Hans. McMahon makes both free throws. Stretches the lead back out to 39. Dragons playing a bit of a press. Now Safford gets it over the line, but it's stolen away by Barfield on the pass. It was kind of a wild pass. Now Barfield up to Harshman. Harshman's just going to fire off a quick three, and he gets that to go.
He needed that one to go in for him. He needs to see multiple go in the basket because that's his game, and he's kind of had a rough one today in terms of shooting it. But he needed to see that one go, and that was good for him to see that.
Safford found Acker under the basket, open, and a nice pass, and he converts the layup.
Good job by Acker there, seeing the space. Big breakdown there defensively by Howard.
Now Barfield, he's going to take a three. In and out. Hannah tips it back up, misses it, but gets his own rebound, misses that put back. And then a foul is going to be called on the floor. An emphatic foul called on the floor. And the foul is going to be on number 10, Andre Shepard.
Good job by Hannah there to sneak in behind the Southern Maryland defender there, get himself in rebounding position. Had a couple layup opportunities, missed them, but Howard gets the ball back here.
Isaiah Alexander comes in for Hoover for the Hawks. Roche gets the inbound pass from Harshman. Turnaround, nice floater, gets it to go. 74-32, 7:57 left in the second half. Alexander gets it across the line. Hannah steals his pass, though, but then dribbles it out of bounds. Shepard inbounds it to Safford. We're back underway. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Safford calling a play for his team. Gets it into Shepard, then out to Hans for three. Hans gets the three to go. 74-35. Barfield. Truth Norton looking to come into this game. McMahon gets stripped by Shepard, who bounces it up to Alexander. Alexander gets blocked by Sincere Barfield. It will go out of bounds, stay with the Hawks, but good defensive play by Sincere Barfield.
There's a collector's item right there, and Barfield not really known for the blocking on the defensive end, but good for him to still play up 40 in this game and impact the game on the defensive end of the floor as he comes out. His day's probably over here in this one.
Sincere comes out for Truth Norton. Roche got the rebound off the miss. Over to Hannah. And Roche travels.
I think this is the five you'll likely see for the remainder of this game. I think the starter, you're not going to see any of the starters. Barfield, the key role player, is probably done as well. So I think this is the five you'll see for the rest of this game. In fact, Barfield's looks like he's going to the locker room here. So
Deron Yeager came into the game for Safford. Shepard gets the baseline pass to Acker. He gets stripped. And now Hannah heading the other way.
Barfield going to the locker room just to get some ice. He's fine, but already getting his
Harshman for three.
post-game treatment in.
77-35.
Big shot there for Harshman. Again, got to continue to see it go. Be interesting to see if they continue to run some sets for him. Just get his confidence up. Maybe get a couple more in by the end of the couple more 3-pointers made by the end of this one.
Alexander loses it. It goes out of bounds. So it'll be Dragons ball. Another turnover. Truth gets it into Roche and then back. Now Truth Norton's going to run point for this team. Calls out a play. McMahon. Harshman for three. In and out on that one. Alexander comes down with the rebound. He's going to push it the other way for the Hawks. Hands back to Alexander. Inside Shepard. Just inside the free throw line. Misses it. McMahon gets the rebound. He gets it to Norton. Hannah over to Roche. To McMahon for three. Misses that. Rebound goes to Roche, and he gets the easy putback.
Good job by Roche there, finding the crack there to get the rebound and put it back in there for Howard.
It's important for Roche to get these minutes coming back from the injury he had.
Yeah, and get in shape and it's an opportunity for him. I mean, with this lineup, he's going to be the number one option the final 5 minutes down the stretch here. So it'd be good for him. Get some ball handling here. It's all good for Roche to get back in basketball shape and maybe build his confidence up a little bit as well. It's a good opportunity for him to take this three a little bit short on that one though.
Hannah got the rebound and gets it to go. Tough take for him. Now Hans. Under 5 minutes left in the second half. Dragons are extending their lead. Now Alexander, deep three, gets that to go. And the media timeout, so we were going to step aside. 4:32 left in the second half, 81-38. Dragons are up. We'll be back. All right, back here in Columbia for final 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Barfield came in to the game for Roche. Gets it over to Hannah. Now McMahon.
Barfield looking to seal his defender and get big here.
Misses the shot, but he will go to line for two. Foul is going to be on number 11, Ofo. Oh no, they called on number 13 Hoover. My apologies. That's his first. First free throw gets it to go. Second one. Gets that to drop as well. 83-38. We have a palindrome right now. Safford, who came back into the game for the Hawks, wild pass ends up in E-step, then Shepard struggles with it, and then it goes off of McMahon.
Good job by McMahon, though, having active hands, not falling asleep backdoor, which Howard's done on occasion today. McMahon with a very good effort on that defensive possession there.
Now Safford, pass gets poked away, but they're able to keep it. Now Shepard misses the floater. Ofo misses the putback. He gets another rebound, misses that, and then McMahon gets it stripped away from him. Then Ofo extra passes Shepard, and McMahon's going to foul him. So Shepard will go to line for two. Shepard has not attempted a free throw yet today. He's 0 for 3 from the field. Dragons impressive from the free throw line today.
Yeah, being 18 of 20 is much better than their past, and it was a good shooting percentage today for Howard, for sure. And in this final 341, want to continue to build good habits. As Garrett's coming in here, Garrett's a very good team. They're led by a very good coach, Matt McCullough, who's done a phenomenal job. Youngest coach in the region, by the way, at 26 years old, Matt McCullough. So it's the things he's doing there is impressive, and he's he's gonna bring in a very good Garrett team, and you're gonna have to be ready for them. It'll be fun for the Dragons to play in that environment as well. Field trip game. You'll have a lot of kids getting out of school to watch them play. So that'll be a nice fun environment there.
Both free throws are good for the Hawks. Norton got the goaltending call in his favor, and then he made the free throw. So it's 86-40. Shepard can't handle the pass along the baseline. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Dragons ball.
And with those points by Norton, every single Dragon has scored today.
That
Call
is the truth.
call that a good day.
You're allowed to be corny when you're an announcer. All right, McMahon down low to Barfield. Spins around the defender, gets him in the air, gets that to go, and we'll have a chance at a three-point play.
Barfield once again going down low. He's kind of taking that matchup versus Hoover a little bit personally. Looks like not just like seeing it, because Barfield's usually the smallest guy on the floor, and he's like, oh, I got someone smaller than me. I want to take advantage of this opportunity. And Hoover's obviously a solid player. He's playing college basketball. He's obviously a very good player. He's earned his opportunity, but Barfield sees someone just smaller than him. He's just his personality, having known him for a long time. He's like, I'm going here. I don't want to wait for anybody. This is something I want to attack right here. So
Barfield gets the free throw to drop, so it's 89-40. Mafire gets stripped.
good strip
Norton
by McMahon
then
there.
gets tackled by Mafire.
Double bonus now for Howard. That was the 10th team foul by Southern Maryland.
So Norton will go to line for 2 free throws.
For Enriquez and Johnson and Dean, it was pretty nice break, and Jami for that. All the starters, they had a very nice long extended break, so they should be refreshed, recharged, ready to go for Wednesday. Somewhat short turnaround, but should be ready to go for that one, and I'm sure they've enjoyed their being able to rest a little bit on the bench.
Norton makes 1 of 2. 90-40 is now the score, under 3 minutes left in this game. Dragons will improve to 10-4 on the season, get double digits in wins. Hoover tried to throw it off McMahon's legs. He jumped over it. Dragons will also improve to 3-1 in the conference as they're trying to build up conference wins and climb to
And
Region 20.
that's what it's all about. These are the games that, I mean, with respect to the out of conference games, the Region 20 Division 2 games are where you make your money. And this is one of those games, and Howard's done a tremendous job with that. Harshman taking a 3 there to get it to go. But Hannah's been active on the glass all day, and he's earned himself a lot of offensive rebounds. That's his third offensive rebound of the game in limited playing time. So good for Hannah.
Yeah, missed the putback, but you appreciate the effort. Then Mafire misses a shot. Barfield got the rebound, and then Harshman and Norton were confused as who was supposed to get the ball, and it sails out of bounds, so turnover on the Dragons. Hoyt gets it into Shepard, and then it's passed back to Hoyt. Now Istep throws it across to Shepard. Shepard drives in the lane, floater, gets it to go. 90 to 42, under 2 minutes left. Norton now kicks it out to Hannah. Now Barfield. Barfield a deep three. Misses that. McMahon gets the offensive rebound. Now Hannah is going to drive. Kicks out to Harshman. Extra pass to Barfield. Extra pass to Norton. Norton gets it almost stripped away. He recovers, spins, and then gets a tough shot at the basket to drop. Good play by True Norton.
Yeah, spinning around a couple defenders there. Had looked like he lost the ball handle of the ball a little bit, but it speaks to his ball handling ability to keep control of that and be able to get those 2 points for Howard.
Shepard misses the three. They're going to call foul on the ground on Barfield.
Fourth team foul for Howard. So side out, couple more before CSM's in the bonus, but probably won't get there with only a minute left to play.
Barfield picked up his first foul. Hoyt can't handle the pass. Harshman gets the steal. 1 minute left in this ball game. McMahon gets the pass. Two-handed slam along the baseline. And a technical foul.
They're going to rescind the technical foul.
All right, they take the technical foul back from McMahon. So Hoover gets it into Estep. 53 seconds left. 94-42. Fire gets the pass inside. Then Shepard, and he travels. And like Sebastian was saying, the next games for both the men and women's team is facing the Garrett Lakers here on Wednesday at 12 and 2 p.m. So early games, it's field trip day.
10 a.m. and 12 p.m.
10 a.m. and 12 p.m. So
Howard's going to dribble it out here, and I think Barfield doesn't like it because he's going to get charged with the turnover here, taking a shot clock violation. But
you like that fire.
Maybe our stat keeper, our very, very good stat keeper, Isaac, will maybe take a turnover off for him here in this situation. They'll never know.
He tried to throw it off McMahon.
And I think he might have deflected it off of him. That was very slick there by Barfield. You can appreciate that. That was very, very nice. Very well done. That's someone who has experience dribbling out clocks before.
So 10.1 seconds left. They're just going to dribble it out. The Hawks will fall to 2-13 on the season, 1-5 in the conference. Dragons 10-4, 3-1 in the conference. And we will see you Wednesday morning for the women's and men's game against the Garrett Lakers. Thank you everybody for watching today, and we will see you next time.